I mean, you've gone and done perfectly, like 2 boys and 2 girls. Like, how the hell would you do that? I know 4 sons. Like,
You got to know what you're doing.
I kept. That's probably right. There's probably something in that. I guess I had different mums, so like that sort of didn't help either. I just kept trying to have a girl. I just never succeeded. Now I've got 3 grandsons as well. And when you were, when you're having kids, did you actually wish that your kids play footy? I mean, was that a thing? Because I remember when my kids were little, I put them in the under 6s at the Wombats and all that stuff, Crocodiles. Then they went to the Crocodiles for a while. And I just wanted to play footy. And a couple of them just weren't really interested. Like one in particular couldn't give a shit about it, and he's more academic sort of thing,
Yeah.
And I must say a few times I got disappointed, like as a dad, wanted to see my kids play footy. Were you like that as a dad? Or did Nathan just naturally sort of want to play footy with all the kids at school or something?
Yeah, well, so as Nat said, he was our firstborn, and he was honestly, by the time he could walk, he was kicking footies and hitting golf balls and just playing with any sort of ball he could. So I didn't even have time to even think about whether I wanted him to play footy. I didn't necessarily want him to play footy. I just wanted him to follow what he liked doing, and he just loved playing sport. So I encouraged him to play, the more sports, the better. That was definitely something that I think is important, and he was only too happy to do that. So, he played cricket and a bit of athletics and played soccer and all sorts of stuff. Tried to get him in the water, surf, and and then just as it turned out, he fell in love with footy and he was pretty good at it.
But was he always built? He's a big kid for a halfback, like very big.
Yeah, he wasn't. No, he wasn't like that. No, he wasn't overly big as a kid. Even when he was started, a teenager. When he first played Harold Matthews, he was number 14, coming off the bench playing hooker, and mate, there wasn't much of him.
That was tiny.
Yeah,
Matt's under 15, under 16.
Yeah, that was 16. Yeah, so he's 14 or something. So, and so by the time the other kids obviously came around, I had the same thing. If they wanted to play sport, awesome. Same with Jet. If Jetty wanted to play footy, great. If he didn't, I wouldn't have cared. Yeah, and I kept saying, because he was under that much pressure and everyone was watching him, and I said, "Are you sure you want to do this, mate?" He's like, "Yeah, no, I do." I said, "Okay, all right."
How much do you weigh out of interest as a halfback?
About 90 at the moment.
That's a big halfback.
Yeah, I got to 94 in the preseason, and I sort of realised I was like, this is a bit too big, I think. And
yeah, like more muscle. You lost muscle.
Yeah, muscle. So then
he was slower than me at that point.
Yeah, I was a bit slower.
He was never quick.
I know. I've seen the tapes.
He'll tell me. It's all over here.
I've seen the tapes. And then I obviously had the hamstring injury as well. So I was like, I sort of refined my diet a bit, and pretty happy at 90 at the moment. So
do you feel as though any of the injuries were as a result of having, being a bigger set?
I don't think so, but at this point, after my second hamstring injury, I wanted to look at everything. Like I was just putting everything on the table, and just really took like a bird's eye view of what was happening, because I felt confident at the time, like I felt good in my body, and then these things were happening, and so obviously something's going wrong. So sort of refined a few little things. The main thing was doing just extra hamstring and high speed work, which came from the physios and high performance staff, which is the base of where it came from. But any little intricacies I could change to help me, I try to do that.
You a perfectionist?
Yeah. And it's very frustrating at times.
He's a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Is he get it from you or mum?
Nah.
Bet.
No, neither. I think mum and I are quite happy to be not perfect.
He has to get it right though.
Yeah, but you know what? It's just, that's something he has realised as well, that you're never perfect, but he tries to be, and he prepares like no one I've ever seen. Like he said earlier that he's learnt that he never wanted to give himself an excuse come game day, and that's actually it's almost human nature that you want to give yourself that little bit of excuse, So it's I think that's one of the traits that are unusual in him, and why he's become so good.
I mean, I couldn't kick a goal ever, then or now, and I look at guys like you when you're kicking a goal, especially under pressure, and I watch the process you take yourself through, and you're sort of talking to yourself. You say something to yourself. mean, is that something you could share with us? Like, it seems like there's a series of steps that you take that sort of dull all the noise and all the people yelling at you. Might be right on the sideline, someone trying to wish you the worst. But it seems like you go through this process, and for some reason, nothing else in the whole world exists. Is that like close?
Yeah. I've said this to a few people, but when I first get to the top of where I'm about to kick the ball and I'm setting it up, I can hear everything in the crowd. I can hear people saying stuff. But once I've set it up and I get to the top of my run up, it's like there's no noise. It all just becomes one, and then it's just me in my own head pretty much. And I especially feel this with the high pressure kicks that are one to tie the game or win the game. I'll just simplify it, and I'll just say to myself, keep your head down and don't try to kick it too hard. And take a couple breaths, and it feels like I'm just at the park, like when I was a young kid kicking. And I know it seems weird, but yeah, in those high pressure moments, it's probably when I feel the most relaxed, I reckon.
Is that partly because you do actually practice at the park all the time? I mean, you're one of those guys after training, you're still kicking, you're still training, you're still kicking goals and up and under, whatever. You do extras?
Yeah, a lot. And that was probably something I needed to refine as well with the hamstring issues, which has been it's been a difficult process, but it's probably helped me a bit more to see things in my own head rather than actually just doing physical reps, and it's more mental focus and stuff like that. And I think that helps me in those sort of high pressure moments. It feels like I've been there before, and I've envisioned it almost. And I think the thing about like the perfectionist thing, outside of footy, I'm happy to not be perfect. I know I'm not, but for some reason in the footy world, it's like, I'm quite meticulous.